Switch. The most advanced piece of technology of all gaming console ever. Allows you to play games on the go and in your house. This past September 18th, 2018, the most craziest thing ever happened on the Nintendo Switch. You can now play online. But the bad part about it, you gotta pay money for it. But it's online. One of the new features of this online is that now you can play Nintendo games on the Switch, including your favorites: Legend of Zelda, Super Mario Bros. 1 and 3, Donkey Kong, and everyone's favorite, Balloon Fight. All these you can play now on the Nintendo Entertainment System on the Switch. And that's why I'm here to talk about pro wrestling for the NES, and you could possibly say now the Nintendo Switch. Let me fill you in on wrestling. The wrestling's been a thing for many generations, years, anything you want to say. Even right now. Back in like the 70s, 80s, 90s, up to like 2000s, wrestling been one of the biggest shows that's been around. Anything from the story, to moves, the excitement, the drama, even the violence they got. You got steel cages, people hitting each other with chairs, we got attacks, barbed wire. Hell, we even got tables and matches. People falling on through. Sometimes you got fire in it. It's sick, but entertaining. That's what nowadays wrestling is, at least. At least back in like, 70s and 80s, it was actual moves, storylines, and everything. Sometimes you'll see maybe a table or chair come out, but not a lot like nowadays. To where, we need the most action-packed thing ever so everyone can pay attention to it. Nah, it's like, old school wrestling, I guess many people would say. And pro wrestling is an example of one of those old school wrestling. But sadly, even though it's for the NES, and I got one, my NES has sadly stopped working because the power cord for it has kicked the bucket, I guess you could say. Something got to it and it could no longer give this thing enough energy power, and did somebody say not enough power? Well, who was that? I got your power right here. Captain Power. So with a touch of my hand, I could fix that wire of yours for your Nintendo. Listen, it's fine. I could just play it on the Switch. Wait. What's a Switch? My dog. Wait, you don't know what a Switch is? You're a symbol of Nintendo, man. You talk about Nintendo Power all the time. Is it new? No, it's not old. It's relatively new. Still new, really. And of course I don't know about it. Jeez. But, anyway, do you want me to fix your wire or not? Listen, man, just don't worry about it. Like, I'll just get a new wire. Okay? Oh. I see. Well, my work here is done then. Alright. Sorry about that. So, let's get on with it. What is the game pro wrestling then? Pro wrestling Released in 1986 for the Famicom, and then later next year to the American NES. It's a single and multiplayer fighting / sports game. So, pro wrestling, what can I tell you about it? Well, it's pro wrestling, you know, it's not much to it. Two guys jump inside of the ring with a referee and a camera guy outside, and they just duke it out wrestling, you know, trying to be the number one, going for that champion. So they got quite a roster, you know. When I mean quite a roster, I mean the first Super Smash Bros. Roster looks so much bigger than... So, the roster includes the white guy, Kirby as a human, the Japanese Emperor, Black Panther, the Swamp Thing, and Conan the Barbarian. The first thing that you notice about this game is probably the controls. Now, I'm playing it on the Switch, which is different from your regular NES controller, since there are several buttons and analog sticks compared to the D-pad and A-B. But compared to the Switch, you still use A, B, and then one of the analog sticks in order to move around. But thing is, your hits sometimes don't work. Like, A, you could do a kick, and B, you punch, but don't bother punching because it's barely useful anyway. You barely hit the guy. Instead, he kicks you and does other moves like frickin' suplexes. He does backbreakers, clotheslines, back body drops, you name them. And it's like, how do I do these moves? Like, if I was 8 years old, I wouldn't know how to do this. Me, on the other hand, I do it the cheap way. I'm just gonna keep kicking him. Because I noticed every time you kick him, he falls to the ground prone, and he can't get back up. So you just continually kick him, give him that sweet chin music, is by super kicking them. Giving them that sweet chin music, okay?
As since day one, always will. Whoa, 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 whoa!
Shot him landing on his feet. He got it!
What? Fuck by RJ Carter.
When all is said and done, pro wrestling is an entertaining game, I would say. Sure, a lot of it involves the controls. You gotta get used to finding out what combination does what move. Me, I would sometimes just do random buttons and I'd just be lucky about it. But that sweet chin music helps a lot. Like if I was like 8 years old for Christmas and I got this, I would probably play the game once and never touch it again. That's because I wouldn't have the patience to figure out the movesets, you know. Besides, wrestling's fake anyway. What the heck? Who's that? Who could that be, honestly?
Some would say wrestling's fake.
Oh no, my fine china!
The chairs are fake.
No, this is not like the game at all! Not like the game! Oh god, my head.
Is it real enough for you?
Yeah, give, please.
No.
Leave me alone.
Let's get a little cool, huh?
No, it's cold. It's cold in there, man. Oh, man. I need a power up. There we go. Now, we're playing with power.
Let's do this.
Time to do some sweet chin music.
What?
Alright. Time to play with real power. What?
You call wrestling fake? Ow, ow.